Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about inside the CPU cabinet. As we have read about the main parts of computer, right? The main parts of computer are the keyboard, monitor, CPU, cabinet, mouse, microphone, speakers, printer, etc. Each of these part performs a special function for the
Hello
computer.
everyone.
As this part have
We
become
are
a
going to
part of
discuss
your
about
vocabulary, you will never
computer
forget their names.
inside the CPU cabinet. A very basic knowledge we are going to get from this video. As we have read about the main parts of computer, and the main parts of computer are the keyboard, monitor, CPU, cabinet, mouse, microphone, speakers, printer, etc. And each of these parts perform a special function.
Okay, what is the CPU box? The CPU box or the computer cabinet is the case that contains various components of the desktop computer. The computer cabinets are available in the variety of shapes and sizes. The size of the computer cabinets also vary depending on the type and power of the computer. As we know, a computer cabinet contains many electronic components which work together to make the computer work. Some components are hidden inside the cabinet while some others are partly visible. So, whole thing I will conclude with one sentence that a computer cabinet contains many electronic components which work together to make the computer work. And this, the power supply. We know that the computer is an electronic machine. It needs electricity to work. The power supply device in CPU cabinet is used to transform standard wall outlet electricity into the lower voltage required by computer system. The whole thing I will conclude within one sentence. The power supply unit in PC is known to be most failure item as it heats and cools each time when it gets current when the PC is switched on. The motherboard. The motherboard is main circuit board. This is the largest circuit board and has many smaller circuits plugged into it. The most important component plugged into it is microprocessor. Microprocessor is the device that executes a set of instructions known as software. The whole thing I will conclude with one sentence that motherboard is the main circuit board. Largest circuit board. Don't deviate your mind. Be focused on the subject matter and try to learn something about computer basic knowledge. It's quite interesting. Now we are going to talk about ports. A port is an interface through which data is transferred between a computer and other device such as printer, mouse, keyboard or monitor. Ports are very visible to back side of the computer cabinet which you can see. These ports are used to plug in the hardware. They are connected to expansion cards inside the cabinet. These expansion cards are plugged into the motherboard and are connected to other components by cables. All the input and output device plug into ports. In computers, there are extra ports to plug in extra hardware like joystick, scanners, digital cameras, among others. Do you know the term port is derived from Latin word porta, which means gate, door, entrance. Hannah, quite interesting. So, the whole thing I will conclude within one sentence that is, port is an interface through which data is transferred between a computer and other device such as printer, mouse, etc. Quick application, things to remember. A computer cabinet contains many important components. The power supply device in CPU cabinet is used to transform standard wall outlet electricity into the lower voltage required by computer system. Next, the motherboard is the largest circuit board and has many smaller circuits plugged into it. Next, motherboard also supplies power to the various parts of computer. Next, BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. Ports are used to plug in the hardware like input and output device. Things to be remembered. Next, we are going to talk about ROM and RAM. As we have learned about ROM and RAM, now going to talk about ROM and RAM. As we have learned about ROM and RAM, that the contents of the ROM are pre-recorded and cannot be changed easily. That is why it is called the permanent memory. RAM is exactly opposite. RAM is the other type of memory. It is used by the CPU to read and write data and instructions while executing a program. The content of RAM keep changing constantly. Hence, RAM is a temporary memory. That is why it becomes essential for us to save the things in hard disk. If the computer gets turned off, the data in RAM is lost.